This computer says it's 31 degrees outside. You guys are joining me to ski after the meeting, right? Megan, I've got the tech already.
Okay, great. Commissioners all ready to go. I will now call to order the Norwalk Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on June 28th, 2024. The time is 5:45 p.m. Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson. Here. Steiger. Samuelson.
Here.
Forrest.
Here.
Eaton.
Here.
Caldwell.
Here.
Reagonator.
Here. Item number 3 is the approval of tonight's agenda. Any changes to this evening's agenda? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Item number 4 is the approval of the June 10th, 2024 minutes. Any changes or additions to the minutes from June 10th? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the June 10th minutes.
So.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5, I'd like to welcome the guests who have joined us here in person tonight and those who are on the Zoom. Are there any members of the public here in person who wanted to speak on an item that is not on tonight's agenda? Any members of the public on Zoom who wanted to make a comment on an item that is not on tonight's agenda? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to item number 6, which is a request from Hubble Realty Company for approval of the site plan of the Holland Point 55 Plus Clubhouse. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, so this is one of the development lots in Holland Point plat. They recently did a revision to the preliminary plat and have chosen to locate the 55 plus clubhouse on a piece of ground over here. I don't have the latest line work from the plat, which is why there's just a circle there. But it's roughly the size of that circle in the vicinity map. Basically, it's just this layout. They've got a pool and a pickleball court in addition to the building itself, as well as parking spaces off the street. Don't really have a whole lot else to really add. The reason that this needs approval from you guys is because it's a non-residential use in a residential neighborhood. It's unusual for you guys to see site plans in residentially zoned, non-apartment, non-townhome areas. So that's my summary. Happy to answer any questions. We do have representation from Hubble and also the engineering firm with us / on Zoom.
Great. So would the applicant or an applicant representative like to make a comment on item 6?
Good evening, Caleb Smith, Vice President of Land Development with Hubble Realty Company. Elliot did a pretty good job just outlining the project. The clubhouse here is a pretty critical component, we believe, to the 55 plus community we're trying to develop here at Holland Point. Material wise, we use similar materials that you would see on other home-like structures around the area and would match the elevations that we're intending for the 55 plus project. One of the reasons, and I just wanted to hit on this in the original PUD for the Holland Point, this clubhouse which was planned for the west, backing up to Elizabeth Holland Park. One of the reasons we moved it away from there was well, there's 2 reasons, twofold. One, because we did not construct far enough over there to get to where that lot's going to be, we would have to build all these units and then build it with the second phase. What we have discovered, as we've done a few other communities with clubhouses, if it doesn't go in right away, it is the #1 complaint we get in our community. So in fact, we're fighting that in the project downtown right now. So we wanted to make sure we moved it from the western side over here. Second issue on the west side, there's a lot of terrain. If you sit there and drive down 28, you look at it, there's a lot of terrain going up. This parcel just kind of suits better for this kind of use. Plus, it's right here at the entrance as you drive in, so everybody will know where to go. Other than that, pool is pretty standard what we do in most of our communities. If you look at our apartment projects or other clubhouses we've done. And a pickleball court, it'd be very similar to what we did out at Mill Ridge in West Des Moines, if you want to see what that looks like, although I think most of us know what a pickleball court looks like, so. Other than that, I'm certainly happy to answer any questions anybody may have on this proposal.
Are there plans for the clubhouse to be open to the community as a whole?
No.
Okay,
Nope, it's intended just for the people that would pay to maintain and support that, which would be the 55+ community.
okay.
So Elliot, you said it's not this is not a residential zone.
This is not, no, it is in a residential zone because it's a non-residential use, requires site plan.
Oh, okay.
I would also mention, just as a matter of practicality, this is one of the 2 clubhouses that it's kind of in the works for Palm Point. There's also one within the, I don't know if
Multifamily
it's
piece.
in the multifamily piece where they had the amendment on the parking go through a while back with townhomes and apartments. There's a clubhouse in that site plan as well that's separate from this one.
Any other questions from the commission?
Thank you.
Was there another applicant representative that wanted to make any comment on item 6 on Zoom?
No comments from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just an informative question. Are there houses built right now for the clubhouse that exist out there? Is that 55 and older? Is that what that means?
Yeah, so currently, right now, we don't have any houses. If you go out there now, and you can see up here on the drawing that Elliot's got, we had originally platted a development called Holland Point Plat 2 out there. And there'd be a mixture of bi-attached and 4-plex units. With the revision to this area, we're really trying to target that 55+ community. So we
Okay.
went away from the 4-plexes, which is part of the work that Holland Point Plat 4 will take on. And utilize a lot of those bi-attached, but as you go west, we're actually gonna start adding some villa product in there that was not originally planned. So detached townhomes, secret garages, things like that. So at this point, we have no housing, but again, we feel it's gonna be critical to the sales of this area to have this clubhouse in place.
So the existing houses to the east,
They're not apartments.
they won't be in that. Correct. Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions from the commissioners or any further deliberation on item 6? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan of the Holland Point 55+ clubhouse.
Thompson motions.
Second. Over.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Forst,
Aye.
Eaton,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Thompson,
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Reagan.
Aye. Thanks, everyone. Item number 7 is consideration and recommendation on a special use permit request from Eden Crest Legacy LLC to permit a farmer's market at 2901 Cedar Street. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yeah, and this was a little bit of a last minute add to the agenda. Normally, when I give you guys a Board of Adjustment thing to consider, I try to get the Board of Adjustment report ready. Given the timing that Eden Crest is looking for, I thought it was best to get it on this agenda. So yeah, we have Juwan here from Eden Crest, who I'll go over kind of your basic stuff, and then you'll have a second to talk about it. So a farmer's market falls under the zoning ordinance definition of a flea market. We use the term flea market in the zoning ordinance to refer to a variety of things. Farmers markets is one of them. A flea market is not listed as an approved use in any zoning district. Much like a tattoo studio, it is therefore permissible in any district with a special use permit. So that they need to obtain from the Board of Adjustment. Special use permits of that nature require review by the P and Z. It's over here. So that's the general summary of why we're reviewing this. I don't think ever done a farmer's market special use permit before, at least I don't believe I have. And so this would be an event held at Eden Crest. Jawan supplied me with a flyer. They're targeting a date exactly 1 month from today. That is a Wednesday for day of the week consideration. And my understanding is they're wanting to pretty much use a sizable portion of the parking lot that is on site. The Board of Adjustment and P and Z don't really need a formalized detailed plan immediately, pending comment from P and Z and Board of Adjustment. If it needs to scale down for some reason, we don't really ask for anything super concrete up front. But I went ahead and noted in the staff report for this that the intent would be for anybody arriving in an automobile to park on Cedar Street. There is room for about 40 cars on the street, and you guys will, of course, know that staff is supportive of encouraging street parking because that's what helps drive foot traffic, especially for pop-up events like this. So we don't really see any issue with that being the plan of action for automobile travel. Of course, the residents of Eden Crest will not have to drive to this, and they are certainly the target market, so it would seem. So I think I've summarized mostly what is going on with this, and I'm happy to, if there are any questions for me somehow, happy to answer those. Otherwise, we've got Juwan with us this evening to speak on it also.
Juan, did you want to make a comment to the commission?
Joanna King, I'm the Community Relations Director here in town at Eden Crest at the Legacy. And working with Elliot on this event is a pop-up event that we plan to do yearly. I just started in this role 6 months ago, but it's to raise money for Alzheimer's Association. So I'm mostly targeting Warren County businesses first and foremost, and then I'm trying to get them out and just get people in Norwalk out into our community, seeing what we're about, and obviously raising money for a good cause. So all the proceeds of this event, the Eden Crest game, will be donated to the Alzheimer's Association. You pretty much summed it up really well, Elliot. I appreciate that. And that's all I had on the event.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions from the commissioners?
I have one just for clarity. I noticed it said food vendors. Are we required to have any specificity around what types of food or alcohol or things like that can be offered?
So they would have to obtain a liquor license. I believe that'd be a question for PD, but I'm pretty sure they need to do that if they were selling alcohol. As far as food vendors go, actually, I can find out right away if there's going to be questions about that. Basically, our food truck ordinance deals with distances to neighboring properties, and you got to be within 300 feet in order to be required to obtain permission from McDonald's anyway. And they're further away. So that is a hoop they'll not be to jump through.
And there will be no liquor.
Any other questions or deliberation by the commission? Sounds like a great event.
Thank you.
I know you don't need a formal motion from us, Elliot.
For this, we do. We
Oh,
need,
okay.
we need a
Recommendation
recommendation
to
whether or not
approve.
to issue the special
Okay.
use.
So with that, I'll entertain a recommendation to approve the special use permit request from Eden Crest Legacy for the farmer's market.
So moved.
Second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Eaton,
Aye.
Caldwell.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Reaganitor.
Aye. Thanks, everyone. Item number 8 is a request from Matt Larson for approval of a site plan amendment for crayons to pencils at 515 Sunset Drive. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, this one's pretty straightforward. This is again actually, this one is in a commercial zone. Formerly, this was a residentially zoned property, but we changed it a while back. Anyway, Yeah, this is a site plan amendment, basically just adding on to the existing parking space. Mr. Larson has informed me on a few occasions that pickup time is very hectic there, and they're wanting to just help alleviate that a bit by adding some parking facilities. There may be some infrastructural improvements down the road that need to be made related to stormwater, just because of the amount of impervious surface being added and the sensitivity of that drainage corridor back there. How Senate File 455 affects our ability to mandate that, I'm still working out with Jim. That's the stormwater legislation that was passed recently that goes into effect July 1st. Yep, this is a site plan amendment because this is a site plan checklist item. And so that's basically it. This is, and I think I put a note maybe in the staff report about things like this being something we figure out how to write zoning code for, so that Luke and I can just staff approve things of this nature. So expect that to come up as a discussion topic at a future meeting. Talk about wholesale zoning amendments. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I don't know if we have anybody on the Zoom this item tonight.
Where's the new parking? Is that right by the?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's this,
Okay,
yeah, just to the right of the blue on here.
about what, 20 spots or so?
22, I think, or
Okay,
yeah, 10 in one row, 12 in another row.
Grass there, no?
Yep.
Were the houses to the south, were they contacted in this in any way?
Nope.
Was it not required to?
Nope.
How tall are those trees? Do we know?
I don't know.
I don't know,
tree
I'm
height.
just, with the parking lot in your backyard, I'm gonna tell you that it's not fun, so I just didn't know if those folks maybe knew that this was on the docket.
No, there was no requirement for them to be notified. Google Earth is not perfect, but
Well, those are hardy trees.
do you know that was there?
for what it's worth, Public Works went in and replaced the culvert under their driveway recently. It was severely damaged. Just from age and weathering, so we put a little bit of public money into access to this site.
Any other questions from the commission or any deliberation?
But does this say that it's zoned, what is this zone right now, R1?
It's zoned commercial office. So the parcel itself
Okay,
has two zoning classes. Zoning boundaries do not need to follow parcel lines. And so when this transitioned from a church to a daycare, we rezoned it as commercial.
and this potential parking lot area as well became that, the
Yeah.
commercial as well.
Yep, so the dividing line is basically where, well, I guess it shows it in the corner. So the entire field behind this is zoned residentially.
Any other deliberation or questions on this item? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan amendment for crayons to pencils at 515 Sunset Drive.
Forced motions.
Samuelson will second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Caldwell,
Aye.
Thompson, Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Eaton,
Aye.
Reginator.
Aye. Thanks, everyone. Item number 9 is a request from Rahomo LLC for approval of the site plan amendment of Dimple's Family Dentistry. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, so this is mostly an interior retrofit. But a few things that were involved in the change of use triggered the site plan approval process. So we're doing lots of minor site plan stuff this evening. And so they're wanting to change the use of the northern unit. There are two commercial spaces in this building. The northern part of that, they want to switch from formerly being Medicap to an event hall / assembly gathering space, kind of a place they can rent out to, I guess, graduation parties, birthday parties, that sort of thing. So they're wanting to get rid of that drive-through, which will be missed by absolutely nobody. And then modify the parking area a little bit to add some spaces. That was kind of one of the main questions that staff had for them, was just how intense they anticipate this being. The zoning ordinance requires them to have just one fewer spaces than they have here now. I think there's a little bit of give and take with event spaces, because not everybody's going to show up with 4 people in a car. And if the capacity is 126, there's just some math that can be done there to forecast on parking needs, but we don't see that there would be much of a conflict between an event space that's getting used for birthday parties, grad parties, et cetera, and a dental office. I think this is a situation where sharing parking between those two businesses makes sense. We've encouraged the folks behind this to get a hold of True Bank and maybe talk through implications if there's bleed over on parking. Bit of an unusual case where maybe the zoning ordinance is underly prescripted in that department, but they are checking that legal box, and everything else on the site is zoning compliant. We're also having them add in sidewalk on the north side. So some of those gaps that we have around Colonial Parkway will begin to fill in between this and then getting the auto dealership to the north last year. So I'm happy to answer any questions on this. To the best of my ability. I don't think we have anybody on the Zoom for this item tonight.
So given the current state of the road that's right outside of the site plan, what authority do we have as a commission to discuss that piece of things with the added traffic that you would have with this type of a use?
Do you just mean like pothole condition?
Yes, just I see it deteriorating even faster if you add in that additional use traffic.
I suppose not having somebody on the Zoom to respond to questions like that maybe hurts you guys in this situation. There's no law that says the driveway to your house can't have a pothole. And with private roads like this, it's kind of similar. There isn't really anything community development would have to, I guess, force them to fix it, really. I guess it's just in everybody's best interest over there to do that, and the market will determine if they should do it or not. If they're losing money because people don't like their road, they should go fix their road. The way that our codes and ordinances work, we're fairly hands-off with it.
And there's no development agreement from back when that went into place that obligates the developer or the current.
I think it may be one of two things. If there's a pothole that's exactly over the line on this property's parcel limits, they might be responsible for it. I'd have to go read legal documents to find that out. What's more likely is that this property owner, as well as other ones who own properties backing up to that road, collectively are responsible for it and pay into some sort of fund.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that is structured, but it's usually one of those two things.
Was it a year ago or 2 years ago, we had the McDonald's entrance and come and go entrance a little bit further to the north?
Yep.
I thought there was some sort of tool, because I know council deliberated on that and talked about that a lot. There was some sort of leverage we had to get those property owners to get that fixed. And I would imagine it would be the same process here.
Yeah, that, AJ, that does sound familiar. I'm not the enforcement arm of whatever that tool is, so
Sure.
I'm afraid my
Yeah.
answer is my answer right now.
I think we note it for council, because I remember it was talked extensively at the council level, and there was some things that were done to, it's a lot worse shape than what Google Earth shows there now, because I drive that
This is 2011, so.
once a week.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody ever complains about potholes anyway, right? So I don't even want to talk.
August of 2011, I was moving into my college dorm for freshman year at that time, so.
Yeah, it felt like it was beyond our authority, but I just thought it was worth mentioning if there's some kind of solution for that problem that seems to keep coming up again and again. Not that that has anything to do with the current request. It just seemed like it's a time to bring it up.
Mhm.
I like the idea of the drive-through being gone. I think that it's a necessary improvement for best use of that space. And the sidewalk addition, I think is a great addition for that area.
Just so that you guys know, the reason it bows like that, sometimes people ask about why sidewalks, meander like that. There's a MetroNet box under what would be the normal path for a sidewalk there. That's that rectangle adjacent to it.
There's a spot on Wakanda Lakewood where there are two trees and the sidewalk does this to get around them. So yeah, it's.
Any other questions or deliberation from the commission on the site plan amendment? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan amendment of Dimple's Family Dentistry from Rahomo LLC.
Thompson motions.
Second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson.
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Eaton,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Reagan.
Aye. Thanks, everyone. Item number 10 is the city council update. George, any update for us tonight?
That one issue out west with the lot to put together, they did pass out at council. They came to some agreement, with the legal department to fix quite a bit of that cul-de-sac. It was more than I thought. I went out there and drove it. I just saw one little thing where I noticed it from an amateur standpoint that, yeah, this looks bad. But there was a lot more than that apparently, and they pretty much replacing quite a bit of that cul-de-sac. That sound about right?
Probably about a third of it, if not more.
Yeah, so anyway, it's fixed and they'll put their lots together, and so they all came to an agreement. I don't know what the agreement is, but they came to agreement, so,
Great.
yeah.
Good news for Carson. Item number 11, I know we don't have Holly with us tonight and Luke is also out. Any update for us, Elliot?
I'll be out of town for the next meeting. I don't think right now, I don't think I have anything I'm working on to get ready for it, so.
Okay.
Maybe we get a week off. That'd be nice. We are moving the next council meeting because it would fall on July 4th. So that'll be going on the 11th, which means if we do have that meeting, it would be same week items. But since the next council meeting would be the week after, it would still be appropriate to have the meeting on that date. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm trying to think if I even have any updates. Speaking at Rotary tomorrow, and that'll be fun. AJ, I'm about 3/4 of the way done with my presentation.
You rock.
During Game 7 of the Stanley Cup tonight. But hopefully that'll be interesting and yeah. So between that and then I'm actually going to a meeting at Polk County one of the Polk County Public Works offices about the stormwater bill. There's, they're kind of getting all the city people together in one room to talk about changes that need to be made to construction, post-construction stormwater ordinances, to make them enforceable. So that's a language that's weird to me, so hopefully I've retained most of it and can use it here. So that's it. That's all I got.
Our next meeting will be July 8th, 2024 at 5:45 PM. If we have items, as Elliot mentioned, I'll now entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
What's the motion?
Samus will second. Go Oilers.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at 6:15 PM. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
I
Carson
appreciate it.
and AJ
Thanks for
calling
joining
in.
us, guys.
Yep.